What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the most awesomest homesteading channel on the entire planet. It typically doesn't have anything whatsoever to do with homesteading. Homesteading off the grid. Aren't these beautiful sounding chimes? It's got that nice, deep, healing tone. These chimes are partially sponsoring today's video, by the way. We've got a lot of really good stories for you sent in from some of you folks, actually. I might read you your stories today, so listen up. These chimes are actually made by Weaver, my premier sponsor. Weaver's motto is tough tools, half the price. They're typically known for their tools and their household wares, but this is one such household wear for outdoors, of course, that they've sent me recently and they wanted me to showcase to you. It's a well-built set of chimes. It's lovely. I've had them hanging on the porch for about 10 days now. And when the weather's nice, I do a lot of my work, most of my work on the front porch from a hammock. And there'll be a breeze, and these will ring in the middle of the day. And every time they do, the frogs in the pond just start chirping, and any bird within hearing distance will start singing. And it just adds beauty to the entire environment. So here comes a breeze now. Listen. They're not obnoxious, they're not high-pitched, they're deep, they're resonating to the soul. All right, so listen, if you like these chimes, they make excellent gifts. I'm going to put the link for these chimes in the description box below. I want to point out they come well packaged in a beautiful box. It's easy to gift wrap if you'd like to, and they come with a wonderful card inside that if you want to give them as a gift, it says especially for you. And wind chimes are common to give to folks after they've experienced a loss. There's a card, and then there's another little card inside the card that says a token of serenity. You write their name on there from you. It says this wind chime is a source of sound healing, a cultural symbol, and a reminder of beauty in the world. May it bring you peace and joy in every moment. So these are nice. I love them, and they're beautiful, beautiful design. Again, high quality. So thanks, Weaver, for sending them and allowing me to sponsor this product. But let's get on to some stories. I mean, you guys didn't come here just to listen to 20 minutes about wind chimes, did you? No. So this first story comes to us from viewer James Price, who writes, "Hi, Kevin. My name is James, and you can use this in my name if you want to. First, let me say I enjoy your channel and all the different content. I started watching several months ago and haven't missed a new episode since. My creepy story is one based on love, I believe. This event takes place nearly 60 years ago. I grew up in a very closely knit family on my mother's side. Back in the 1960s and 70s, every Sunday we would drive 50 miles to have Sunday dinner with my grandmother and her sister, whom we called Babu. She was never married and had lived with my grandmother all her life. What a wonderful experience, as they were awesome cooks. Well, in 1968, Babu died. Isn't this beautiful? As I recall, being a child of 7 or 8 at the time, I can remember laying in bed one night soon afterwards. I was scared of the dark, so my mother left the hall light on to ease my fears. There was a rocking chair in my room, which was one of those that folds up, kind of like scissors, with a red velvet back and seat. As I recall, I woke up to seeing that rocking chair rocking away, but there was no one in it. At first I was scared, but a feeling of peace came over me, along with a sense of warmth and love. I knew it was her checking in on me, Babu. After that experience, my fear of the dark vanished, and I had no problem sleeping at night with no other lights on. That's the only time I've ever experienced anything you could call paranormal in my life. Keep up the good work, and blessings to you and your family. James Price." James, thank you for that wonderful story. And how endearing is that? It sounds like the spirit of Babu was visiting that scared little boy in that dark room and set his fears at ease and cured his fear of the dark. That's worthy of swinging the pendulum here on the chimes and hearing the beautiful tone. You hear those birds singing? There's a cardinal right over there. And my chickens are over there staring at me like I got a third eye. But so what? So let's get on to the next story. And folks, if you have a story that you would like to share with us that you would like to have read on the channel or put in one of our upcoming volumes, True Hauntings. We're working on volume 10 now. All those are available in print and Kindle. The link for that is in the description box also. You can email your story to the channel. The email address is crazylake@mail.com. You must give us permission to use your story however we deem fit, and let us know, like James Price, let us know if it's okay to use your name, and if not, we'll just keep you anonymous. So now we've got another story from Stacy Wick. It might be Wiki. I know I mispronounced her name once about 6 weeks ago when she sent us another story, and she corrected me, but I've already forgotten. Okay? Sorry, Stacy. But here's Stacy's story. Stacy says, "Hi, Kevin. I'm back with another story. It was a pic of my husband, Steve. You had permission to use our names and my story on your show. My husband is from Ohio and we met online. I moved to Ohio to be with him. My first job in Ohio was working at a warehouse job, Sears Distribution Center. My first week there, I hated being the new person. Well, on Monday of my second week, 2 new people walked into the break room. I thought they were new, but I later found out differently. I was happy to see these new people at first because I thought the attention would be off of me. It was a man and a woman who came in that morning. I later found out their names were Lynn and Joe. That's not their real names. That's what she's calling them. But it turns out that they had been on leave for a couple of weeks and they were returning to work. So while she was working with Lynn, she noticed, she just turned around abruptly. They were cleaning up. They were told by their manager that they were going to be allowed to go home early. So they were trying to finish their final cleaning duties to get off work. She turned around, Stacy did, and she saw a little girl standing there. And then she turned back around to Lynn and she said, "Who is that little girl?" And Lynn said, "Oh, don't worry, that's just my daughter." Stacy said, "Oh, okay." So she continues to clean, and when she turns around again, she sees that the little girl's not there. And she says to Lynn, "Where did that little girl go?" She was such and so tall. She described her. She told Lynn what the little girl was wearing. And Lynn pulled a picture of a little girl out of her purse or out of her pocket or something and showed her. And Stacy says, "Yeah, that's her." And Lynn says, "Well, again, that's my daughter. But you see, the reason my husband and I have been on leave for the last couple of weeks and haven't been here is because she passed away. I think the story was she got hit and killed by a hit and run. Yeah. Daughter had just been killed in a hit and run accident 3 weeks before that, and they had taken time off from work to mourn." But Stacy saw that little girl rejoining her mother and probably her father too at work at that Sears distribution warehouse. Stacy ends her story by saying, "That was the 3rd apparition I've seen. It wouldn't be my last. I hope you enjoyed this story. Until next time, take care. Thanks. There's more to come. Stacy." Stacy, we look forward to the more stories to come from you, and look forward to reading them to the audience. And that story was certainly wind chime worthy, so let's give the pendulum another swing. That's so beautiful. Don't you guys want some of these? Again, remember the link. A little sensitive. The link's in the description box below. So here's one from Bob Bobbin. I just have the user ID here in the email. I don't have a real name. Sorry, Bob Bobbin, or I'd give your name. But this is a quick one. Bob writes, "My wife and I are down here with my daughters who are going to Disney for a couple of days. So they're somewhere down in Florida. We're hanging out and dog sitting at the rental apartment. I woke very early today and wanted to get a jump on my step total, so I went for a walk down the street. I came to a section that had thick brush woods along the way. I looked left and I saw 2 square windows, no doubt lit by lights beyond them. I continuing, I got a bit worried about hearing something or someone walking in the woods beside me. It was dark and I couldn't see anything. I quickly crossed the road, returning to our place, and I stayed on the other side of the road the rest of the walk. 2 hours later, my daughter, Bronco the Frenchie, and I walked the same way. So I guess Bronco's the dog. And this time when they went by, there were no glowing lights coming through the windows because there were no windows, because in the exact same location there was no house. So Bob, earlier that morning had gone for a walk, and there was this mysterious house in the woods that just a short time later wasn't. That's creepy. Bob, thanks for your story. Folks, they don't have to be long. They can be short and sweet like Bob's. If you've had anything strange that was associated with the paranormal, supernatural, cryptids such as Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Mothman, any of these such things, and we've got a cryptid story coming up here soon in today's video. Afterlife experiences, angelic experiences, angels, UFOs, aliens, abductions, anything, send them in. Again, the email address is crazylake@mail.com. So now we've got one from Mary. And this is the one that deals with cryptids. It's really creepy. So what great stories we had today. We had a ghost story, a glitch in the matrix story, a disappearing house. We had another ghost story when Babu came to visit James in the rocking chair. Now we're going to end up here with one about cryptids. Mary writes, "Hello, I love your channel. Please use my story if you find it worthy. I would appreciate it if you used my first name only." Granted, Mary, it's what we've done. Mary continues, "Our paranormal team was investigating Wellington Avalanche location in the Cascade Mountains at Stevens Pass in Washington State." Now, Mary, it's interesting. I used to live in Washington State, about 2 hours south of Seattle, out on the coast, ocean shores. But I spent a lot of time in the entire area, and I actually went to this same spot in the Cascade Mountains and was told this story. So thanks for the reminder to me, and for many of you listening, this might be the first time you've heard it. This is a really creepy, yet very true tale. In 1910, 2 trains were stuck due to heavy snow. Most of the staff and the riders slept on the trains. In the middle of the night, a 150-foot avalanche pushed both trains over and 100 feet down the pass. 93 people died. The location is very haunted. It is indeed. Okay, so Mary continues, "After investigating for 8 hours, we headed back to our campsite. On the way in, we saw a large fire with naked people dancing around it. Okay, whatever. We got into our tents. I was laying there and heard heavy breathing. It sounded like running. I went out to see what was going on, and I saw a naked man being chased by a 10-foot tall praying mantis type cryptid. I just stood there kind of in shock. And then I went back to my tent. Come to find out, these cryptids do exist. Are they ETs, extraterrestrials? I have lots of great stories. Thanks for considering mine. Take care, Mary." Mary, thank you for your creepy story. What a crazy night to see some crazy things. People dancing around the fire naked, later only to see one of them being chased by a 10-foot tall praying mantis looking cryptid or potentially an extraterrestrial. Wow. Certainly worthy of a pendulum swing on our high quality Viver wind chimes. Aren't those beautiful sounding? All right, folks. So there you have it for today. Some really wonderful stories. I want to thank all of you for sending them. Again, if you're new to the channel or if you haven't been following for years and years, you can find these stories and literally thousands just like them in the True Hauntings series. Once we get 40,000 words worth of stories combined, that's how long a full-length novel is. I don't know if you knew that or not. 40,000 words or longer is full-length novel length. We package them together and release them as novel-length short story collections called True Hauntings. Volume 9 was just released about a month ago, and we're putting together Collection 10, Volume 10. Again, if you got a story you'd like to have in there and hear read on the channel, send it. The email address is crazylake@mail.com. Give us permission to use your story and your name, or we'll keep you anonymous, like I said earlier. We'll see you for more next time. Take care of yourselves. And give a gift to someone else that matters.